Hey everyone, it is Ringgold. I am part of the test team for IEH2. I just wanted to do some tutorial videos for everyone. In this video, I'll be going over everything about rebirths, except for how to actually get to the levels required for rebirthing. I'll do that in another video. So I wanted to kind of go over everything that has to deal with rebirthing. You rebirth from you get that tab unlocked through the global quest. Um, tutorial number, actually it'd be tutorial number 9. Once you complete that, you'll unlock the rebirth tab. And the first thing you'll notice is that you probably only have one tier open. You get the other tiers later on. Um, but so rebirth, you have to be level 100 at least to rebirth for the first time. You can lower that through the town temple research for leaf. Rebirth level requirements -40 for me right now, so I can rebirth 40 levels sooner. So my requirement is level 60 before I can rebirth. I believe there is a max of 50. Yeah, I can only go down to 50. So rebirth 1 can only go down to 50. That also means rebirth 2 and 3 can also eventually maybe go down to 50. But anyways, tier 1, let's just go over what it resets. So it's going to reset your hero level and the XP. So that means that if I would rebirth 1 right now, my thief would go from 361 to 0, and my XP requirements will go back down to 0, and then whatever it takes to get to level 1 and so on. And then also the general quest also gets reset, and that is going to be all your general quests. So you can, anything that's cleared will then be uncleared again, and you can clear it again. So what happens if you rebirth? You get additional ability points. If you're going to rebirth for the first time at 100, you won't be getting any additional ability points due to the math behind it. Basically, it says max hero level reached in tier 1 at the most. Yours will say 200. Mine says 225 at the moment, -100. So that means if I would to rebirth at 125, it would be 125 -100. So I would get 25 additional ability points. That's these guys. And then here's the breakdown of how many rebirth points you get. As we can see from my hero at 363, I would get 91,000 from hero level. I would get 1,000 from general quest, and then also another 1,000 from walk distance. So those are your 3 ways that you can get rebirth points that can then be used into the rebirth upgrades. So you have 5 different upgrades that you can have. Probably the best one is going to be the XP multiplier. I would definitely be going after that as much as possible. The next one is going to be your multitasker, which just increases your quest limit for the title and general quests. That's how I have 22 available. Next one is going to be your stone. It's either going to be stone. It goes either by warrior or thief. For the blue, for stone, either you're going to have a stone gain multiplier, which just increases the amount of stone gain that you get, or the stone gold cap multiplier, which goes off of your general 2 gold cap stone. It just increases that so you can get more gold cap. The next one is going to be your equipment challenger. The best way I can describe this is that it just lowers the required hero level to equip an item. So if I look at like my bat ring, I need to be at least a level 150. It's saying that I'm 549, but I'm actually only 363, and that is due to the equipment challenger. Yeah. So what it does is it increases my hero level by 245 just for equipping purposes. So that's how I can equip something that's 549 at my current level and not get any kind of equipment tenacity, or if you don't have equipment tenacity, it would, it'd be red and you wouldn't be able to equip it. So that can really help you keep stuff equipped and usable when you're doing a lot of rebirthing, especially tier ones. The next one is going to be just a basic stat. Each of them has their own stat that you can increase, and that just will increase it by so much per hero level. So, like in my archer, my magic defense will go up 10.5 every time any hero levels up. So if I like I'm about to get to 364, it's gonna go up another 10.5 when I do get to 364. So it can be a good way to get some stats, but it's not something I would focus on entirely. I would mostly worry about your XP multiplier, maybe some multitasker if you need to, if you're trying to, have some quests, um, kind of just working on, like I have a bunch of my like master of physical and fire and stuff like that I'm trying to keep. So I don't want to lose that progress, because if you cancel, you lose that progress. So that could be a good way to get more of that going for you. And then, of course, the resource multiplier is always a good thing. I would kind of go off of the XP multiplier, then maybe a few resources, and then kind of as you need the equipment challenger and maybe the stats. I'd probably save the stats for last though. So the next tier is going to be the Rebirth 2. You need to get your temple unlocked, and you also need to rank it up one time to unlock tier 2. The level requirement is going to be level 200, unless again you have the town research going, which I would highly recommend to at least get to 20. You can do it, obviously you can do it before, like when I rolled ascended, I think I had like 12, but the more the better. It's going to make the next World Ascension even better and easier for you to level up. But anyways, Rebirth Tier 2, it's the same thing as Tier 1 with some added stuff. So I guess it's technically not the same, but it resets the same hero level and XP and general quests as in Tier 1. But it then also resets your skill level and the proficiency of that skill, of all skills, for that hero. The rank, however, remains. So that means that in my, we'll just go to my thief. So all of the levels would reset to 0. The rank would remain of 50, so I could, still get to 250. I would just have to go back through and get 250. If you say you have like the last one, or even one of the ones before, and you just unlocked it, but it's not ranked up, it will go back to being locked because you need to have at least rank 1 for it to stay open. Just something to keep in mind. Now, with Rebirth 2, the bonus that you get is the same way that Rebirth 1 works as far as the max hero level. At most 300 minus 200. So the max that you can rebirth, I shouldn't, the most you can max at and get bonus points for is 300. So you get an extra 100 because 300 minus 200 is 100 ability points every 25th hero level. That means every time your hero hits, level 25, level 50, level 100, so on, it will get an additional 100 points or whatever your highest max hero level would be for tier 2. So you could start out with 205, and you would get 5 ability points every 25th level, and you'd want to work your way up to something higher, especially the 300. Like even my angel, it's only 295, so like I would want to kind of work it up another 5 points if I really wanted those extra 5 points. The next thing that it does is it boosts your tier 1 rebirth bonus effect. So the bonus effect is this guy, the additional ability points. So it's going to start boosting all the additional ability points that you can get. So every time my angel rebirths, she actually gets 9,000 extra ability points from the start, and then you know, and then the additional is going to be 291 every 25th level for my angel, and that's due to the tier 3 boosting my max hero. With the math, the best way I can describe it, and the easiest way I can describe it is it's just diminishing returns. There is I don't want to say a steep curve. It's more of a, I would say, more of a gentle curve. I used to have a graph and I can't figure out how to add it in. So, yeah. The other test team members were trying to help me with this and try to understand it. But simply, it's just going to be a diminishing return every time you rebirth. It will only go up a few percent. And you can see that down here, the tier 1 rebirth bonus effect. So I get 7,000% boosting the original 100 points, ability points. So you can get tier 2 rebirth points by your skill levels, the hero level, general quests, and also walk distance. So the bottom 3 are the same as tier 1. It just adds the skill level. The skill level, it is kind of weighted. I don't have the amounts that it's weighted, but like the higher tier skills, like for my thief, the assassination is the last skill to unlock. Sorry for the spoilers. So that will get more points at from going from level 0 to 1 than dagger would at 0, going from 0 to 1. And then also as you get up into the higher levels, they will also gain more points versus the lower levels. So like you would get more from level 100 going to 101 versus going from level 0 to 1. So that is how you can get points. What can you spend the points on? There is a bunch of them that you can do. I personally will, well, let me just go through them, then I'll go through what I personally would do. Skill proficiency gain multiplier. That just means it's so much easier to level your skills up. Class skill slot. That is one of the ones that you can unlock. That I did a video on of all the class skills and the global skills. This is the one from class skill. Tier 1 booster for XP, so that just boosts the XP multiplier by that percent of whatever level you have. The next one is going to be your tier 1 booster for basic HP. Again, that just boosts the HP, how much it gives per level. Skill rank cost reduction, it just lowers the cost that it takes to level up your skills for that hero. Sharing skill passive effect, this is probably one of my favorite things, especially towards the like end of your world ascension, like after you do it again. Your skill share passive effect, like my archer has level 10, which is the max, so any skill passive that the archer has will share that with the other hero. So if I go to my skills and I go to my archer, all these passive effects get shared with every other hero. and that hero does not have to be active. It can be inactive and still share the skills, which is extremely important towards the end when you're trying to, get the most DPS out that you can, or whatever else that you can get from the passives, like all the XP gains, um, the resources, stuff like that. The next one is going to be your tier 1 booster for rebirth points. So that's just going to boost what you get here in the rebirth point area. So you'd get more from hero levels, more from general quests, and then again walk distances. Next one is going to be your well, for the archer, it's the crystal gold cap multiplier. So again, that just increases the amount that the gold cap multiplier has. The same with like wizard, it would increase the gold gain multiplier in the same upgrade. So what would I pick starting out? I believe in getting the XP and then some proficiency is probably the best way to do your first RB2, just because it'll make getting back to level 200 even better and faster because you have more of the XP gains. And then what you would want to do is once you get to level 200 again for the second time, because you'll be using like your proof of rebirth 2 title, you could then do a rebirth 1 at 200 and then get the max additional ability point that you possibly can get, which would be 100. Just a quick tip. So the next one is going to be the tier 3, which you again have to rank up your temple to 2, and then it will unlock tier 3. So with tier 3, it resets again the hero level and XP, the general quests, also the skill level and proficiency, the same as in tier 2, and then it also resets your equipment level and proficiency. The dictionary points and mastery effect remains. So let me just go over what that all is real quick. So equipment level and proficiency, that's going to be the level of that hero's on the equip is going to go back to 0. So if I would rebirth 3 on this on my thief, this golden light ring, it would say thief level 0. It would give me a countdown timer again, and I would have to level back up to 10 or 15 in my case. The proficiency is just what I went over. It just resets it back to level 0 and the timer resets. Now the dictionary points and mastery effect remains, so that means what you can do is if you start getting into a lot of Rebirth 3, you can actually gain a bunch of dictionary points, which is a great way to get the polished equipper. You can also then notice that the mastery effect stays, and that what that means is that all of the stuff that's in green next to the proficiency, like my thief enchant slot 2, my tamer taming point gains, will all stay. Just like in the world ascension video that I went over, that stays. It's just the level that resets. So it can be, I know it can be kind of daunting losing the equipment level and proficiency, but once I get into what you can upgrade, you'll probably feel a little bit better. So let's see what you actually get when you rebirth tier 3. Initial base skill, base attack skill level is going to be max hero level reached in tier 3 at most 500 minus 300. So that means if you would rebirth 3 at level 500, you would have 200 base attack skill level every time you rebirth. Even if you rebirth back at tier 1 or tier 2, you would always have level 200 of your base skill, which is extremely great for the tamer once you unlock her for the Sonnet attack. Level 200 is your passive for pet summon, uh, which is your third total pet summon. So you can have all of your heroes have 3 pets at the same time if you get level 500 on the tamer. And then you also, again, you have the same diminishing returns, but it affects the tier 2. So it's going to affect the tier 2 bonus effect. So it's going to be everything here. It's going to affect your AP that you get on every 25th level, and it's also going to increase the bonus effect from tier 1. So you're just going to keep doubling, not doubling, but you're going to keep increasing your additional ability points as you do both tier 3 and tier 2. They can really help each other out with that. So what do you get, or how do you get the rebirth points? You get it from equipment levels. So every equipment level, not mastery, not level 10, not level 15, but just every single level. So level 1, 2 to whatever you can get up to, however far you want to take Rebirth 3. It, of course, stops at 10 until you get the equipment level cap. That's down the road. So you get it from the equipment level. You also get it from skill level, hero level, general quests again, and also walk distance. Now the skill level and the hero level, it is based off of actually let me look it up because I forget the exact numbers. You can see all the stuff that I'm pretty much talking about in the help rebirth that I wrote up. Let's see. I know I have it written down somewhere where it only works. Maybe we took it out. Well, okay. Oh, here we go. You gain rebirth points based on hero equipment levels, hero skills starting at level 100. So it uses the same weight, but it only works on things that are over 100. So as far as Rebirth 3 goes for, it would only count 150 of my Sonic attack if I would use the Tamer, but I'll go to the thief since I'm on the thief. So it would only give me points for 150 instead of all 250, whereas that's what it would do in Rebirth 2. So that's just something to be in mind of if you're, really trying to get the most out of everything. Same with the hero level. I believe it's 200, or it might even be 300, that you have to go up and above to get those more points. And then of course, general quest is going to be the same. So you do want to, max out your general quest, especially for the first time you're going to rebirth 3, and also for the first time you rebirth tier 2. So once you get a good amount of points, what can you spend it on? The first one is going to be your equipment proficiency gain multiplier. That just means it's going to be even easier to level your equipment even faster. The next one is going to be your equipment weapon slot. So that just adds your equip slots. So you get more equips on the different tabs. Same with the jewelry slot. Your tier 2 skill proficiency gain multiplier, so it's just going to boost your tier 2 skill proficiency. Tier 1, or I'm sorry, tier 2 booster of magic attack for wizard, and then the basic attack or basic stats, so that just boosts this one, which then in turn boosts tier 1 basic magic attack. The next one is going to be your equipment level cap. The first one is going to increase or allow you to max out at 15. So it's going to be by +5. That just means that you can get like this Iron Glove. My Thief has it at level 15, and that is the mastered time. Next one is going to be the armor slot, same as the weapon and jewelry slots. The tier 2 booster XP again boosts the XP, which then in turn boosts the tier 1 XP. So that can be a good one to get. Tier 2 booster for Rebirth points, that will just boost your tier 2 point gains. So it's going to boost all these numbers and let you get more Rebirth points for tier 2. And then the last one's going to be your resource cap or not cap, but resource gain or the resource gold cap that you can increase per different heroes. Oh, I think, did I skip? No, I said about the basic stats. Just boosts the stat points that you get from this, and then that also boosts basic defense in Thief's case. I believe that is everything about rebirthing for now till we start getting Rebirth 4, 5, and 6. I'll do another video once that happens. And I'll do another video that will kind of go over how I go about getting up to 100, 200, and then also 300 for the first time you're going to rebirth. Thanks for watching.